right now. Yeah.
How long is this meeting? Don't last more than that. Do you ever like? Do you ever look at reviews? To see how many people watching it? Do you ever look at reviews?
Supposed to be.
Look at all the people who are in the document. Nanya Chinchilla. Woman, Rwanda. Stephen. Rwanda. I feel like at this point, we should be tied into a rule. You want me to get it? We're not gonna be able to give this to anybody.
That's true.
I was like, the triple that. I thought, okay, 45 minutes. But it's interesting because one of the clues was put your thinking cap on. But they put on your thinking cap. That's the only way it could go. And so they were stuck on that clue forever. They're like, well, we tried it. This is the only way it can go. And I'm like, are you using a hint? Because otherwise I'm not talking to you. So, you know, what are you using here? And they're like, oh, okay, we're using a hint. And I go, are you sure that's the only way, the only order you can put it in? And then once they did that, yeah, so it
Did they enjoy it?
They did. And so I had a lot of build up and, you know, explaining it, like we clues away before you go to the next clue. One of the clues took them to Bitly, which they don't know what that is. So I just said, one of the clues you'll need to use your computer, you figure it out. If you want to use your hint, I'll help you at that time. But then you figure out. 3 of them figured it out, you know, the capitals and the lowercase, you know, you have to do that. Yeah, 2 of the other groups, and it was interesting because one of the groups, that like one of my top students, and she just couldn't get the Bitly in there. She was putting it in the, she had gone to, you know, Google, and she's putting in the search spot. And I said, no, then they used their hint. I said, no, it needs to go into the web address. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
No. That's the search bar you need to go
I see
up
kids do that a lot.
And so that was interesting, but that, you know, so here's one of my top students, and yet this group that, and I just pulled in my sticks. I did not put them in any type of order whatsoever, because I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna deal with that. And I thought for sure that group would get it, because it just so happened it was a lot of, I thought, oh, they're gonna struggle on that one. No, they got that. So that was interesting to see. And only 2 groups really broke out, and the other ones, I'm like, they had been working for an hour. I gave them without hints. I helped them get there. But I'm like, they've been working for an hour. I'm gonna help you break out. But first I had to like lower their expectations. Like when you get in the box, there's nothing really in the box, right? You know, because I was like, because then you know, they're like, oh, what's in the box? And I was like, okay, I gotta bring you guys down. And so, because you know, they think, you know, what's in the box? You know, candy, you know,
There's
like
an elephant in there.
right? I thought about that. I was like, no, because then I'm setting myself up every time I gotta put something exciting in the box. So I had asked I was just like curious, has anyone gone to an escape room? One of my kids had. Go, what's the point? To get out of the room. And I go, right. And you know what the point of the box is? To get in the box. That's the exciting part. And they're like, oh, okay. So then they were holding up their we broke out sign, and they were excited about that. So, but yeah, an hour of cooperative, working together.
So feel free to, like, if you took a picture of them with like, we escaped.
Oh, I did.
You can put it on the Facebook, like, EdTech page.
I have been putting the information into my principal for a while, and some money came up, and so she had said, how many boxes did you want? And I was like, 8. She's like, okay.
Nice. I'm doing a donor's choose right now, so I can get my boxes and my locks together, so I could do that close.
I like having more boxes because I ensured that those kids touched. I have to say, I would say each one of those kids touched something in that box. Whereas if I would have gotten 2 boxes and had 15 kids per box, I know that certain kids would take over more so. But you have to set all the locks, and they're not easy to set. The ones. The directional and the number locks are easy to set. Those are super simple. But the other ones, like they're loose. I don't know how to say.
Yeah,
actually my pin fell out. Yeah, my pin fell out of one of my locks. We just bought them. Back in and put some nail polish on it, hoping that it would stay in because I don't need it. It doesn't need to move. But yeah, they're very loose, and so that was so I get the word and I go, okay, set the word, but yet it wouldn't work. So that's the frustrating part. Oh, they loved it, and my husband is a high school teacher, and he and my high school daughter ordered it. And he's like, I need to get rid of these boxes. And I'm like, well, I don't think your principal's going to pay for it, but you could do, donor's choose or something like that.
Yeah, I was able to, because I got mine's for 9 boxes, and I chose 4 different types of locks, including the one lock that has multiple holes, so you can attach more locks to it.
Oh, the clasp?
Yeah.
Or is it a lock?
It's as a whole.
The kits aren't already built because my kids
No.
my kids.
No, I've been
They
building
have
them from
the
scratch.
ones where you can, like, this is what you can do to build your own.
Yeah, That's what Wendy said, and I was like, okay, well, if you have money, this is what I would like. Otherwise, I'm like, nah.
I think my principal will throw money on that one.
Yeah, well, I'm like I said, she was like, and then I was like, well, if someone here wants to build it, I'll, but I'm like, when I started looking at it, it was almost the same as the box when you start looking at some of it. And I'm like,
I'm excited.
Great way to start a meeting. Tell us more. I just want to hear about. I want to pretend like I'm in the classroom. All right. So let's go ahead and begin. I believe we have people online. A couple people online. You guys all got the slide deck, I think. You got the agenda. I wanted to begin. The warm up usually is like that flip grade that we've been doing. We're going to change it a little bit. So I'm just going to ask just what are some things. Any issues that we should that have been going on this first couple weeks back? Anything that you guys have heard about? No.
Ursula, did you figure out why Heather can't get on with her iPads now to the network?
I just put it on.
Okay, so that's
The only thing. Okay, so a couple iPads open up.
We had it fixed, but it was when the Chromebooks weren't connecting, they had to do the whole Google went down or whatever that was. The fix. All of our loaner or backup ones didn't get that update.
Okay.
So then when students had issues, we went to give them a new one, none of them would connect. So we had to put in a work order to get all of those to connect again.
Okay.
So, but I mean, it's been fixed, but that's the only thing we had.
Yeah, that was scary. I know Google goes down like that. That's everything for us. All right. Anything else? Issues, concerns that have come up this past? I know that it's still relatively vacation. Feel like you still want to go back to that break. Anything? Complaints, issues? All right. All right. So the reason we're going to change this up a little bit for us, our warm up today is going to be. It's not a serious question, just a little bit of thought's going to need to go into it, and we'll explain why we're asking you to kind of do this. So it is another flip grid. The questions here that we're going to ask you to do is, looks like we already had someone in there. That's good. What inspired you to become a teacher? What do you feel is the best part of teaching? Or if you're a librarian, what's the best part of the job? And then what are some things that you would tell a new teacher if they were interested in, or if they just got into the best profession on earth here? So if you could take some time, I'd like you to answer honestly. You can take as much time or as little time as you need if you want to go out and do that. We're going to begin with the flip grid, and I'll explain why you will get to participate a little bit in our little game here. So if you will, take some time, think about that. Give it just however long you think you need. And if you want to go outside to talk, I know that we feel weird. So if you guys are on YouTube, again, just take a moment to answer those questions on that flip grid. And we'll give you about 5 minutes or so. That's okay? Cool. Do you need you got your app?
I usually use the phone.
Yeah. And that's been working out?
Yeah.
Okay. So, did I hear an echo? Is that?
Somebody's got the YouTube stream.
Okay. All right. So 5 minutes. Do your thing here. You guys want to go do yours? Not today.
I need private time. Or not at all.
Okay. Thanks.
These are going to be your examples.
I feel like those guys.
Yeah, my phone's having weird issues. If not, I can usually do it when I get home, for sure, if you don't mind.
No, it's fine. Yeah, if you want to, you can.
Sure.
Actually, I don't think you don't need put through yours. It's not like it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because then she just puts her name at the end.
You don't sign any people on this.
No, you put your name at the end. So you don't need to be.
Are you waiting for the? Jackie Collins, because Jackie Collins was on the. I don't know for sure if she was used to with the people that check people to count all of these people, so I'm like, they can flip grid. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it's about.
What?
Not everybody.
Watch me, Karen.
You can do magic now.
Well, I got this, Now I got the other movements. So I got magic.
Do you want the Google, I mean, the Hangout to show the timer on my account? So they can see how much time they have.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
You sent the link to the presentation to them, right?
Yes.
Today?
Actually, I
Shared it?
but it's just EdTech Jan. Tiny URL, EdTech Jan.
You got a link to the presentation? Oh, no.
It's way better for like that.
What inspired you
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, he did.
Just see the sticker.
Good enough.
I have a Link sticker. Oh, really? Like a Zelda app from Zelda.
I saw that, that was cool.
They have a Mario one too.
Thank you.
Awesome. It's awesome.
Oh my God.
I love the penguin.
Oh, I started in the last quarter.
Have you played anyone?
Yeah, oh yeah. I've been beating the.
How many shrines?
That's good.
Oh, I don't know, 16, maybe,
Yeah.
something like that.
I got 20.
How many are there?
Yeah. And let the PC license of release and all that.
Hard. The game's already pretty hard, to be honest. Like, I usually do a playthrough where I start over. But on that game, it's tough. It's tough.
Them.
Like I'm using runs, right?
For our. Oh, you're gonna post.
I'll send you this video.
Yeah.
Like you said, like,
Everybody-
started.
Everybody. Well, whoever orders this page, they're gonna create for new data. Oh, I did let it, this time. Just answer. Yes,
Not
it is-
about
it
that.
is-
All right. Thank you guys for doing that. So the reason we're having you do that is the first mission in our new PSUSD Odyssey game. So we're gonna have you guys log in here in a bit, but that's the first mission. We wanted to start off the game by really thinking about like the reason we're here, because a lot of times it's hard to, there's all these tech tools. I do it all the time when I'm like so focused on the new technology or this new strategy, but I have to keep reminding myself that really it's about this profession, the students, like why I'm here, why we're doing everything that we're doing. And so I thought that was a good way to focus in and figure out, why. And I want to eventually, as this game progresses, we're hoping that we can kind of see what everyone's been kind of talking about, and then we'll get to comment on each other's, path to the profession and all that. So that's the first mission. We'll get you guys logged in. Before we do that, we want to talk to you guys a little bit about champion update. So as of right now, okay, we're at about 1,300 students logged in. Again, this is high school only. We've kind of passed out some more posters that we kind of keep. We need to keep kind of reminding the students to keep doing it. There was a strong push initially, and just like everything, it's kind of tapered off. So again, we want to keep reminding them, keep putting it out there that they can get Wi-Fi access if they finish the game, and all those modules, all the badges, all that stuff, they get that. If you're interested in seeing some of the samples, it's been great for us. I think I mentioned this last time, being able to talk to some of the kids or see what they're thinking. Obviously, being out of the classroom, it's nice to see some kiddos and see what goes on in their mind. Some pretty good stuff. We also have this here, the Padlet. What I've been doing, we still have to add more. As kids finish each culminating task in the game, we're going to be adding it here. So you can see at any point kind of what, obviously it's protected by PSUSD, so it's not like anybody has access to it, but if you can see some of their essays, the first cyberbullying, cybersecurity publisher, all of those are the culminating tasks, the projects that they have to do at the end of each set of missions. And they've been really good. They've had some really cool stuff. And so we'd like to share that with you. Obviously, you guys feel free to look at that and share that with any teacher that you see on campus. We will be moving to middle school, most likely for sure by the end of the year. And then we'll have to come up with what we do with elementary for next year. I think we may have to kind of revamp a lot of the game just because it really is tailored to more young adult conversations in what we're doing. Again, feel free to play too yourself. If you want to go in there and see what we made, the missions and all that stuff, please join. Because you're going to see it right now when you guys log in. Any questions on the game? Any feedback? Any of the high school peeps hear anything about the game on their campus? Any of you kids? That's Rancho, Palm Springs. DHS is online. I don't know if I know Lauranda's online. She's very
I'll be
close
honest, since you showed me what to do, I haven't touched it yet, because then we went right on break, but
in
I'll get right back to it.
Get right back on. Okay. No worries. Yeah, I just even to take a look at the stuff that we'd love to get your feedback, obviously, if there's something that you think is missing or add to it. All right, so let's get to this little PSA and then we'll get you guys logged in. So Synergy has added a new feature. Did they add it or is it coming?
It's there.
It's there. Okay,
It's
so
ready to go.
so now in Synergy, if a student is missing, you can enable a filter. Sign that day you collected that work. You can see if the student was tardy, late, or absent that day. So I know that when you go into add grades, you don't know if they were actually there, but you're missing their assignment. You don't know if they didn't turn it in or if it was because you're absent, because I'm sure in the day, right, you have 200 kids, it's difficult to remember everybody that's there. So you can enable that in your filters and as an option and show attendance on the due date. So right in the assignment on that particular day, it'll tell you whether or not that student was on campus or was in your classroom. And so that's a nice little tidbit that they upgraded, but feel free to, and that'll be in the newsletter that we send out.
Does it show the type, like if they're absent, does it show if it's excused or unexcused?
I don't believe it does. It just, it says tardy, right? Or
Yeah.
unverified absence is essentially what it shows up as.
LaRonda, this is like, since there's a delay on that, LaRonda mentioned that she'd like to do a video to promote Cyber Champion.
A video? Okay, maybe we talked about that. If anyone's interested in making a video with me. All right, so let's get to the game. So we've revamped a lot of the stuff in Chrome Warrior. You'll notice that there's a new badging system, right? So we still have the same bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and Chrome, but now it's the bronze bump and grind trail, right? This is our local. We've added our local flavor to it. The silver Tuckwitz Fall, the gold Hot Springs, platinum Palm Canyon, and then the Chrome, that's a tramway. And within each level, we have 4 areas that we thought our PD should be centered around. The 4 being tech tools, which is kind of a surface level. You'll see kind of how it progresses. We have the future ready classroom, professional learning network, and then a Google certification pathway. So as you go through the game, if you level up and finish that particular mission, you then get awarded that badge with the respective color. So bronze, you finish all the bronze, you get the bronze version, silver, gold, platinum, chrome, so on and so forth. And one of the things that we have for you today is the welcome logo that we have. You'll see our logo there on top. We're going to be handing a lot more swag this time around to hopefully get promoted and keep the promotion going and keep kind of like the kids. We want to keep this in mind. Again, PD at your own pace. We'll have you guys log in here in a moment. But again, the idea, the swag, all this stuff, the rebranding is to kind of help entice teachers to continue playing the game. So what you're going to do here to get signed in is, I don't know if we linked it in here actually. Did we hyperlink one of these?
I didn't.
No, if you do the player guide, there should be a link in there.
Okay, so if you click here on the player guide, it'll take you to the login information. We will be emailing all of staff tomorrow. So you guys are our first teachers to get in here and to see the game. Okay, we're going to be doing a full blast to everyone tomorrow. Like, here's the game, reintroduction, all that good stuff with the login information. We definitely ask for you guys to help us promote this, create a little bit of a rivalry between your school sites. We have, you'll see that the new updated game has that capacity where you can see the average amongst all different school sites and see how many people are playing the game, who's leveling up. The interface has gotten much nicer, much cleaner. So we ask you now to go ahead and click on the login page, and it'll take you to the Ludo page, and then you can sign in with Google there.
Did it carry over the points from our other system? Is that why there's points on my thing?
There are already points
I
on.
don't know, it says like 900 or something. No,
Like
that's
what we
now.
know.
No players. Oh, no, 100. Oh, okay, I got you. Never mind.
There is something for players. We'll talk a little bit about that here in a second. Let's get you guys logged in.
That's total. I thought that was
Yeah, the Cyber Champs is the kids' game.
okay. So
That's,
this is us.
yeah, your PSUSD Odyssey.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah, please click on PSUSD. We left the Cyber Champion game again for those interested in looking at what the kids are working on, the Cyber Champion badge, you'll notice that that's for the kiddos. We want to click on PSUSD Odyssey. All right, this is the first time I'm logging in as well.
So you want to click
As
on
a
your
player.
profile to start creating your profile. Make sure you're at the right school. That's wanted to go to Twitter, go to Google Plus.
And then once my profile's already set up, so I don't have to I may not have to go through that, but this is what you should see.
Receive this.
Okay, and then at the bottom, hit play this game. So at the bottom, once you see play this game.
Your question though about points rolling over, we're not rolling over points. You get legend badges, or if you got past certain levels, you'll be able to get a certain badge that shows that you were a legend. Got
You're fine.
He asked if people who are on it.
Come work with me.
For the task that says for the love of teaching, that was the Flipgrid that you just made. So you can submit for points for that and just say done, right?
If you're done.
If you're done.
Absolutely.
Are you having them do all of them?
No. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the game and what we're trying to accomplish here. You'll notice that that the first set of levels are essentially logistical stuff. Okay, basic things on how to play the game. All of you guys in here, you're gonna if you just look at them, you've already done a ton of this work already, and it's a matter of sharing. Now, part of what this game is meant to do also is to share the stuff that you're doing, right? Because a lot of us are working in silos. I've mentioned this before. We're always working by ourselves and not necessarily getting to share the wealth of knowledge that you guys hold. Hopefully, some of that happens throughout the game. So the first set of the level, the For the Love of Technology, I'm going to walk you through this because I'd like you to do this and get your points right away. Go ahead and click on For the Love of Teaching. Okay, this is how they're all structured now. Okay, so you'll have a learning goal, a success criteria, and then a help center if you need some kind of set of instructions. So every single one of the missions, right, of the tasks will have this for their instructions. So in this case, it's just really to share your story on Flipgrid, right? So you guys already did that. So then you're going to go ahead and in the space below, submit a link to your Flipgrid. So if you go Flipgrid, right, you can actually, so Tatiana, I'm going to kind of pick on yours here. So I will play it, but when you click on your Flipgrid, you can actually send that specific Flipgrid to us. So you click on that, right? And there's a URL, you copy it and then send it over, right? And then once you've pasted down here where it says record achievement, just hit the record achievement button. And then we get that notification saying someone just played the game, and then we'll be approving all that good stuff for you guys.
You just put in record achievement, the link.
Yes, just paste the link in the record achievement box and then hit record achievement.
I basically said, I always enjoyed a school environment. Being a teacher was a chance to pursue my content area, biology.
Yeah, that's when it asks you though.
And I always right. Was you learning all of them or put your the best kind of teaching and learning things.
Yes, and so
And can do it. About fashion.
Oh, so absolutely do this.
Yeah. You could keep submitting and doing other ones, and they all just come into our inbox. Yeah, and you'll get points, and I'll tell you
I'm
that.
passing out some stickers that you
You
guys
got the
get as like your
or I'll
login
say,
and
here's the
promo
process,
swag.
and there's one that says-
Are you allowing it?
All right. So for those of you guys that are on YouTube, unfortunately, obviously, I can't give these to you, but this is the sticker that we'll be handing out. So next time we see you, hopefully we have a couple of those and we can hand these. This is part of the swag that we're giving to all teachers that get on the game.
Otherwise, I'd be approving them so they can see what it looks like. That's the only difference.
We'll file with if you're gonna upload something, so just the link in there.
Everyone out, and it's a good one.
Quick question.
When it comes to completing everything,
Do you have to sequential reports so that I could like submit my Google Classroom regularly?
Yeah, great question. You don't have to go in order if you already studied. There's no rhyme or reason for the way that you do it. It's up to you. It's the stuff that you've already done.
do the, go to the airplane. Share.
That's what I was thinking. What else was that? She's trying to approve and she can't approve some of them.
What?
Or the doc, or there's no author.
Can you go in and look at,
This one.
I just don't know why it's not working. Maybe because she didn't share it correctly.
What kind of PD or tools, or what do you hope to just learn in general?
Oh, the screen.
All right, so I think most of us submitted that first one. I think we're trying to approve them right now, so you guys can get your points right away. We're hoping that this becomes, for us, for the tech TOSAS, kind of the driving force between all of our interactions with teachers. So at any point, if I sit down with the teacher, I'm hoping to address some of these components in here, right? If I sat with you, had nothing to talk about, I can go and pull from this list of things that are moving you towards integrating technology in your classroom, right? Some of the stuff you'll see is harder than others. Obviously, we start off the game really simple, right? Just like last time, we want it to be simple to get your points, get a couple prizes, and then kind of dive deep. It's like the breakout EDU stuff, right? We want to get there. We know it doesn't begin right away, right? Station rotation, all these topics that we've talked about that you guys are familiar with and know about, we're hoping to kind of move the district in that direction. We have the tech tools. You'll see here that some of them are required, right? Some of them are not. The way that you get your points is completely up to you, right? The one that we will require eventually is the Google certification. In order to move on to level 3, which is gold at some point, is to get that level 1 Google certification. Okay, so that's kind of one of the things that we've decided as a district. Google is that important in our district. We use it enough. We have Chromebooks. We're kind of sipping the juice here. We kind of have to get everyone to be at a high level with Google. And all of you guys in this room are, but we have a lot of teachers that probably aren't there. And this is our pathway. Now you'll notice that in the Google certification, there is no required component here. but there's a minimum set of points that you have to do in that particular task. Okay, so that's kind of how the game is. Sometimes it's required, it'll say that, have to do this stuff, but again, a lot of times it's autonomous. You decide what you want to showcase and show us that you're learning or doing in your classroom. The whole point here is to share the great stuff that you guys are already doing.
If you do more than the, let's say the 75, because they're not all required, do those points add as a bonus, or it's
So there's the minimum required of points, right, is a certain set. So if you just did, say, all of the Google stuff, then that means you don't have to do some of the other things either. But yeah, it just stacks up and it carries over to the next.
Okay, so like the 75 on that is not the cap, the badge.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so at the 75, you'll get the badge right away because you already did those.
So then if you do more, you get more points.
Yes. Yes. So truly gamified. I think we've mentioned this before. There are about 40 districts now that have purchased Chrome Warrior as their professional development platform, and they've been adding, and that's why this revamp came, is from listening and looking at what other districts have done, and then bringing some of that into our district and seeing some of the cool stuff that's worked for them, with obviously our twist with our local component here. So any questions or thoughts? What do you guys think? I'm super excited about this game. We've been working really hard on this. So what do you guys think? Any feedback so far? You guys already going?
I'm excited, and I think we could definitely get some snack talk.
Get some snack talk going. We should definitely have competitions, right? We should.
I think if we had some prizes, my staff would be in.
We have prizes.
So we have prizes there. Before the first iteration was the prizes were a little loftier because we were like super. We had all kinds of stuff that we could give out. Now they're a little bit sensible. We will be putting out, you'll see in that email, the different tiers of what you get at each level. But yes, there are prizes. Some of it is swag, some of it is like tangible things like that. One of them is like a cell phone holder type stuff you'll see as we kind of progress through the game. Yeah, so there is a little bit of prizes, not crazy stuff, but there's a little bit of stuff.
Okay.
But one thing that we haven't ruled out is that at the competition level, if we did say, for this week running, here's a competition with a prize. That's not out of the question, but obviously that will take a little bit of.
Show the leaderboard screen.
Yeah. So the leaderboard.
Just give a proof stuff that I didn't see.
So you guys can see. So right now, or that's not my leaderboard. Okay, here we go. So you'll see it just right away as you guys are populating the game. This will show up for the top players, the points for each school site, and those are averages because it would be unfair if a high school which has more teachers than an elementary does. It's based off of the average, how many people are engaged in the game. All right, thank you guys for getting in there. Hopefully I can see you guys. I really will lean on you guys to help promote the game. Let us know if there's something we could do to maybe do a Odyssey sponsored PD, right? If we just say we just want to go through one of these modules together, right? You want to do the Google certification pathway with the Tech TOSA, right, on hand, so we can help you with it. We can do that. That's the kind of stuff that we're hoping to kind of get out of this and promote.
And we'll be coming around to school sites with our promotional gear too. So we'll be putting up posters and things like that in your lounge and all of those things too.
Yes. All righty. Awesome. Thank you guys. All right. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. We have the Tuesday nights here. I don't know if you guys have been seeing these emails come out from, this is from the ELD side, right? They have these Tuesday nights. They've been really, really good. There's a lot of elementary teachers that already attend. And so keep coming, obviously, but also if you're on the secondary side, it's great because you get to work with other teachers, right? And they'll pay you to essentially collaborate and use the time wisely. So you get paid to sit and chat with other people that are in your discipline, if you'd like, or you can go off the corner and just work on stuff that they're asking you to work on, right? We always say we don't have enough time. They're literally carving out a bit of time for you to work, right? Essentially the first half of the session is an ELD strategy that you can implement right away. And then the second half is just time for you to lesson plan, work on the ELD lesson if you'd like to, or truly collaborate with the other like-minded math people, like-minded science. So not only bring yourself, but bring a friend too, and then you guys are getting paid to work together, stuff that we're asking, that you're doing anyway, most likely, just on your own time, right?
And there's support of the EL TOSAs are there, math TOSAs, secondary, elementary, all of those too. So you have all the TOSAs there for support at that time.
So what we've decided as the TOSA group is we alternate times to kind of be there to make sure that we always have representation. And so if you did have an EL question, right, you have Mandy, right? But then you need something about, you have the math TOSAs that are showing up there, something specific about the content that they're there to support. So we've all kind of come together to do that, and obviously sponsored by the ELD folks because they're great in EL lessons. So those are the dates, times.
What's the date on the right? This is planning.
That's
You don't have to worry about those. Those are for the TOSAs, so they get together to plan the following Tuesday.
yes.
Gotcha.
So the dates on the left is the one.
The left side of
The
life.
left side, yeah.
All the Tuesdays.
Every single Tuesday for the rest of our lives, right? Right, and it's good because it's here now, so it's a really nice space as opposed to being. All right, so we do have an EdTech update newsletter like we've been doing. I'd like you to, just like we normally do, when you announce this, when you send this out, if you could wait till I'll do Monday. Normally we queue it up today, and then we'll send a reminder on Monday. Send it out now. The instructions to log on to the game and all that stuff will also be on the EdTech update. So just hold off. We'll be sending the Friday one, and then Monday if you guys can send your newsletter. But I'd like to give you the time here to draft up the email, get it queued up, so that then on Monday we can send it out and everyone kind of does that. Any questions on this part? Okay, so let me give you like 5 minutes here.
Yeah, so they're just gonna throw it in. Are you gonna move most of these to Thursdays then? The tech ones?
These?
Yeah.
These will always be Thursdays. Yeah, usually the third Thursday.
Okay. Everybody picks Tuesday.
I'm sorry?
Everybody picks Tuesday.
Everybody picks Tuesday. Oh, yeah, we don't. We always do third
No,
Thursday.
no, it's like sometimes I have 3 meetings on Tuesdays. It's like, I have to pick.
And Jennifer's giving us a shout. She's saying she went on Tuesday and it was great. Zarabeth, you've been there. Any comments on what you think of the process or?
Well, the LPAC is different than the CELF, so I think these next meetings are gonna be beneficial to really dig into how they're looking, just understanding that the listening component now is, it says, according to what the sample says, it's recording.
Mhm.
Before we read everything and we
Yes.
said everything.
Yes.
So this will be interesting how that's going to sound, and it gets progressively difficult. The first one is a simple for third through fifth, is a simple conversation, and then it goes on, and it's a lot of informational and science in the CELF, and the LPAC is
In the
now
LPAC,
informational reading and science. Like, they expect kids to have some background knowledge
Yeah.
of what they're doing to be able to answer the questions.
Yeah,
And
like you look at
charts.
that test and you're right. I guess people did this before too, but you look at the test and you just wonder if just our English only students would even be able to understand some of these concepts and the way they ask the questions. So to me, it's been good to be able to sit in there and see what that new test is going to look like. I mean, I don't like teaching to the test, but those strategies that Mandy and Eric are coming up with are great for everybody. They're just good, solid strategies that they've been kind of doing. So.
And the LPAC is line to Common Core.
Yes.
When you teach to the, like you're saying, teach to the test, you taught the CELTs
Yeah.
and how to know that, and then you taught the state testing and how to know, but they were two separate things. Now they're at least the same,
Yes.
closer to be the same.
So I definitely highly recommend anybody and everybody to come. We'll be there. Come hang out with us for a little bit and get paid.
Does that tiny URL EdTech Jan link to the
Slide.
newsletter?
The slide deck.
Okay. How do we link to the newsletter?
The newsletter, it's in the slide. It's here. So it's the,
Oh, okay. I guess it is.
Oh, we have the first.
So I'll approve them. Or like,
I did it because you made me.
I didn't make it. I encouraged you to.
Yes, it really wasn't that. Probably keep going, but I won't.
Is there anyone on the today's?
So I decided.
Heather, is there anyone on today's lead asking anything?
I know, I saw that, I was like, oh, you go. You just gave it to him.
Anywhere more than one shirt.
Stick to one first. I was like, dang.
I know. So I should. No. She didn't see. No, it's a, no, it's a. It's fine. It's a mesh thing. And freeze them. Yeah. Whatever. What was on there? It's like, I'll try to get them. It doesn't look like there's lots of time. And the only thing to do is kind of different. But yeah, it's on here one. No, this is don't really. I don't know. I didn't know it was so much. Yeah, and we didn't complete. We talked about it, set like lunch. So during lunch, do you want to try?
And I can't do the show first week in the February.
So no one ever.
And I'm gone.
What do you think?
Yeah.
You were the only
What
one.
about spring break? Like we did spring break last weekend.
No, not as a date. That way, if you want to stay and do it, no. End of March, beginning of April.
I can do that. The 31st?
Yeah.
Or the first?
We can go during the week.
Oh,
yes.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're not going.
Just brainstorm.
Are you really busy on Fridays?
That's a joke.
At lunch.
Suggesting
I just need
all
to.
pictures.
Or would you rather?
Welcome to reality.
If we went to February, I could spend, because I can't do it this weekend, but I can spend next weekend.
I have a child.
And choosing easy stuff. What day is that?
So that could
Just
just
not
not
start
like
like
published.
Oh, no, like one that's Texas.
It's
the
22nd.
Yeah. No,
They're
that's-
encouraging teachers to
I can
participate
definitely do
in
second.
professional development, and then later as that gets released, we can say, actually, that was
Suggesting
insane.
everyone participate in earning magazine.
Yeah, there's prizes and stuff.
How many people go?
I guess so.
There'll be prizes.
Last year was like my birthday.
The only thing is, why don't we do like the day
Of
of
March.
Logging in.
Because Jeremy's birthday is not until now. He's at the 10th.
and I'm gone until the 19th. If we do it once a month,
It just-
that can work, and then we can talk to Teresa and see if we can do another one.
Yeah.
There's like question.
Yeah.
You can say highly, I would say, you say that if you could put.
Yeah, so-
Teachers.
I gave away sugar.
And I was like, yeah, because it's not released. Second level.
You could say, Sean says this is gonna be. You imagine all the emails we get. Tosa said we have to finish this through this certification. All right, guys. Any questions for the good of the order here? Any thoughts, comments?
Are more people going digital so we get less and less in the actual face-to-face?
There's some people.
There's at least 4 that are digital right now.
Yeah, it's increasing every month. It's getting easier
I
and
feel like the
easier.
room's gonna be empty as.
Eventually, it'll just be me in front of the screen, talking to you guys. If you can avoid having to drive, right?
Yeah, I like the face-to-face, but I also teach right there, so.
That's true. Yeah, maybe come from other hospitals too, that's different. So make sure on the time card you put your name in blue or black ink, and then your employee number, all that good stuff. All right, guys in the chat, we're all set here too.
I'm good, I'll wait for her. Today's the 18th.
Put an extra one.
Put a 1. Thank you. I'll go.
It'll be January 11th to February 10th.
11 to 10?
Yeah. Thank you so very much for letting me use it.
Oh, no worries.
Let me just double.
Thanks.
It's been so long since I wrote my number until I can't remember. I think I'll call me since last.
I just have to log into Galaxy with that. Yeah, that's why I haven't memorized. I used to never have to memorize until
Jen
Galaxy.
still doesn't, I'm like, how do you not have memorized? You go to training every week and you write it down.
I might be emailing you. I'll look into the student thing. I know Marie. I just haven't had time in the past 2 days. So I know Marie's gonna try today. So, yeah.
So I think it should be set. We whitelisted it on Google now, and so we whitelisted first from like the hardware standpoint. So those guys take care of it, the engineers did, and now it should be okay from the Google side.
Oh, I didn't know.
So let me know if that is not the case, then we'll keep going back and figure it out.
Or train the kids to look in their spam. They're getting a grade for me on this, so they need to look in their spam anyways.
It's a cool idea. I like what you're doing.
I'm excited for it. And then I'm also going through, I don't know if you've heard it, Next Generation Next Generation Personal Finance. It's a great website. It's filled with all these financial lesson plans, and it's all Google based. So you just go in and make a copy. I'll send you the link.
So just go myself through it, just because.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god.
Like it's great. They have a full year's curriculum, and then they have suggestions for how you can do it in one semester. So I've been doing it with my advocates. So there's a whole bunch of simulations on there. And like they're just what they did basically is just went all throughout the internet and pulled articles and videos and came up with these activities.
That's when it's good, when it's like stuff that's not just contrived.
Yeah, it's
Sally and Bob went to the store. And they bought 3 Snickers.
so like what I'm doing right now that's similar to the budget challenge is students went on this website, they found a potential salary based on what their career is, and then from there we went to another website and we calculated what the net pay is out of their gross monthly pay. So like, and now they're using a spreadsheet to calculate what their budget should be for the month and everything. So I'll send you that link. It's great. I think it is. It's very practical. So they get so into it because then they're looking for an apartment. They're like, why is it so expensive? And I'm like, welcome to the real world.
Welcome to the real world. That's
Right?
You want them to save it till Monday, just save the
Yes,
draft.
save
Send it
draft.
out on Monday.
Sign it on Monday, yeah.
All their families.
But one thing that I want to try doing, I'm getting my boxes for the physical breakout EDU, but there's some people who do digital ones. And so I want to try
I have
putting
a
one of
couple of
those.
those that I can send you. Someone made, it's kind of, they did it through Google Forms. Like they coded their website, so like you click in certain places and it reveals where you go.
That would be awesome, yes.
That's so cool, breakout. I'd love, send pictures or tell me when you're doing it. If you just need an extra hand, I'd love to.
Well, right now I'm waiting for my donor's shoes to finish, so I'm very close. I'm like less than $200. So I'm gonna see if I can push some other people to maybe donate, or hopefully a donor will come by. But yeah, I'll definitely let you know when I got some.
Awesome. I want to break out.
Will do.
Where are you going? No.
Well, yeah, Tom and I are going. You're going to a wedding. We're going to a wedding. I know, I was very excited. We're going Friday, we're back on Sunday. Yeah, but I'm just.
You'll probably sell.
All right, well, hang on.
Yeah, so it'll probably be okay,
Thanks
but,
for sharing.
I mean, my mom's coming to my house, so it's fine.
Okay.
If it was something else, I would freak out. Yeah, I just like, I wanna send them screenshots of like the weather here, looking, why are we getting married in the snow?
So I was talking
Sorry,
to my
Mom.
mom.
Better not go in. Don't go.
Yeah,
I don't wanna go.
he's like,
When
I
child
will.
in February 9th.